Good morning. This is Pastor Zach with the Goodland United Methodist Church with the morning devotion for Friday, February 16th. Today I'll be reading from the book of Genesis in the 9th chapter, starting in verse 8. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, As for me, I am establishing my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the domestic animals, and every animal of the earth with you, as many as come out of the ark. I establish my covenant with you that never again shall be all flesh shall be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. God said, This is a sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you, for all future generations. I have set my bow in the clouds, and it should be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth, and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, This is a sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all the flesh of the earth. This covenant is the earliest between God and his people, the covenant between Noah and his sons that the rainbow shows up in the sky to remind him of, sets in motion a history throughout the scriptures of God making covenant with God's people. Covenants usually are two-sided, where each side has to agree to it and be a part of it, but God offers his covenant up freely, saying, This is what I'll do for you. Just follow it. So we don't have to even negotiate on the covenant. The covenant is set before us. So during the season of Lent, we look back at the old covenants of the Old Testament, the ones that God started with the Hebrew people, and how the long history of God seeking to be with us is there. Each covenant is distinct from the others, but taken together, they testify to God's ongoing desire to be in relationship with humanity. God's covenant with Noah, with Abraham, with Israel at Sinai, and then the covenant that is to come as we go through the season of Lent, the covenant in Jesus Christ, the final and everlasting covenant. We struggled to follow the previous covenants. We would be with them for a while and then would break them. But he finally sent one that humanity really couldn't fully embrace. We had to see how to live. We had to experience the teachings of Jesus Christ to fully grasp the covenant that God wanted with us, to understand the wishes God had with us. So when you see rainbows in the sky, think about God's covenant and how we can keep our end of that covenant going. I invite you to join us on Sundays. We are starting a new sermon series this Sunday called Gifts of the Darkwood. So join us Sundays in Lent for a worship series that is about seeing life through new eyes, recognizing that experiences of failure, emptiness, and uncertainty are as critical for finding our way through life as they are unavoidable. We will see how experiences of life through the darkwood are actually clues to our calling or life path. How can the struggles of life be the seedbed of spiritual awakening to the fullness of life? Come and find out at Goodland United Methodist Church Sundays at 10:30. Have a blessed day.